Welcome to the regular meeting of the Cape Coral City Council. Today is December 3rd, 2025. This meeting now comes to order. Please stand for the invocation and pledge of allegiance by Councilmember Long.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening. We come here tonight to celebrate the beauty of this city and the beauty of the people who live here. We celebrate the fact that we have a government in which we have a voice, in which we can speak and make suggestions. We celebrate tonight a government in which we can elect our officials and are heard. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor Gunter.
Here.
Council members Donnell.
Here.
Kaduke.
Here.
Kilrain.
Here.
Lastra.
Here.
Lehman. Long.
Here.
Steinke.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Just a reminder, any residents wishing to speak on citizens input tonight, just a reminder to fill out a comment card over on the table right before citizens input. City clerk will gather those cards and call you up by name. Just stay where you're seated until you hear your name called. Next item on the agenda is changes to the agenda. Do we have any changes, or I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented?
Motion
I
to
have a
adopt as presented.
No, I have
Huh?
a change.
All right, Councilmember Lehman.
Yeah, I'd like to pull 354-22-22
Well, when we get to the consent
on the
agenda,
consent agenda.
when we get to that, I'll be more than happy to come back to you so you can
Okay.
let me know that.
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure you heard me.
Yep, we're going to hear you twice. Thank you.
Do you want me to read motion?
Yep, so,
A motion to accept as.
Second.
all right. Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell.
Aye.
Gunter.
Aye.
Kaduke.
Aye.
Kilrain.
Aye.
Lastra.
Aye.
Lehman.
Aye.
Long.
Aye.
Steinke.
Aye.
8 ayes. Motion carried.
Okay, item 7 is approval of the minutes. Do we have a motion regarding the minutes of the regular meeting of November 19th, 2025?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is 8. 8A is consent agenda. I will now open the consent agenda for any council members to pull any items for discussion. And for some reason, I think Councilmember Lehman has an item she wants to pull.
You got it. I want to pull 354-22 for further discussion.
35425, you mean? 354.
Yeah, you're right. It is 25. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I wrote it wrong.
That's okay. So that's item number 11 on the consent agenda.
Motion to accept the remaining.
Hold on a
consent-
second. I got a few
Oh,
more
okay.
lights lit up here. Councilmember Steinke.
Thank you. I'd like to pull item number 10, 344-25.
Okay. And Councilmember Kaduke.
I'd like to pull item number 7, resolution 330-25. And item number 17, resolution 365-25.
Which one?
Item 7, which was resolution 33025, and she said number 17, which is resolution 36525.
Oh, the first one was.
All right, so, all right. got everybody written down here correctly. We got Councilmember Kaduke pulled item 7, Councilmember Steinke, item 10, Councilmember Lehman was item 11, and item 17 was Councilmember Kaduke. We have a total of 18 resolutions on the consent agenda. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 items that are being pulled. So I will entertain a motion for the remainder resolutions on the consent agenda. All
Motion to approve.
right, any other council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell,
Aye.
Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduke,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman,
Aye.
Long,
Aye.
Steinke,
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, we have Resolution 330-25, Councilmember Duke, Kaduke pulled this particular item, so I'll turn the floor over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Mayor. So I guess my question really comes from our e-comments this evening. These items were clearly known prior to our fiscal year 26 budget approval. So why were they not in our proposed budget to begin with?
Bill Corbett, Public Works. So there's really two components to the budget. There's the design and the construction. So the construction will be included, the increase in the construction will be included in fiscal year 27 budget, which is forthcoming. Regarding the design, the AMP, the asset management plan, which we submit as part of the budget, is due in January. We work through the budget workshops with City Council going through August, and our last budget workshop was August 5th of this past year, 2025. Moving on into September, where it was introduced to council for final, for hearing on 9/11, final adoption 9/25. We received the final scope and fee from the engineers on September 9th. So having started that process in January, we didn't have the extra information there. So regarding those soft costs, though, there are other soft costs which we have yielded savings on in North 1 West. And so we are working, that does offset, from the bottom line, but it was not incorporated due to that timeline related to development of the asset management plan, introduction and workshopping with council, and then of course the initial and final resolutions.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I see no other lights on. I entertain a motion for Resolution 330-25.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Any other council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell,
Aye.
Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduke,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman,
Aye.
Long,
Aye.
Steinke,
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, we'll move on to Resolution 344-25. I believe Councilmember Steinke pulled that item. I'll turn the floor over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. The reason I pulled this has nothing to do with an objection to it, but in full support of it, and wanted to make sure that it gets public recognition. It's a great example of the community coming together to contribute to the city and do things that we couldn't necessarily put into our budget. We've seen things like this cut before. And so when the citizens get together and form organizations to help contribute toward the beauty of our city, I think it deserves acknowledgement, and very happy for it. And also a plea for those that are in attendance or those watching at home, for those that would like to help participate in this tree trust. You can contact Don Apking. Don Apking is actively involved and leads the group. We have several that are residents, not only here in Cape Coral, but other places in the country that are involved. So if you would like to be involved in it as well, certainly reach out to Don Apking, or you could reach out to me as well. So that being said, I would like to make a motion that 344-25 is approved.
Second.
Any other council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell,
Aye.
Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduke,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman,
Aye.
Long, Steinke,
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, we'll move on to Resolution 354-25. Councilmember Lehman, you pulled this item. I'll turn the floor over to you.
Yes, I did. Thank you. I did because personally, I think it's a frivolous expenditure. I don't think we need flags and banners hanging down Cape Coral Parkway to be changed 3 and 4 times a year. We're trying to cut basically pull the belt in, not spend extravagantly. And I feel this is an extravagance we don't need to spend right now. Or in 26. With the UEP and with everything else going on, I think we need to pull back. And I think this is a prime example of what can be pulled back. Thank you.
Councilmember Kadu.
Thank you, Mayor. This was also an item that we knew would be an expense, so I don't know why we wouldn't include this in our budget, and it's requiring a budget amendment. And also, why is it not funded through the CRA? I thought we spoke about this in the CRA. It's coming out of the general fund.
Mr. City Manager? That sounds like a question.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to have Assistant Maureen Weiss discuss.
Maureen
the
Vice
benefit.
Assistant to the City Manager. The CRA Board elected to change this program to a City Council city program. Then we had a Committee of the Whole discussion, and the City Council, in that discussion, staff provided the costs and the recommendations. The City Council elected to follow staff's recommendation after the budget was approved. So this occurred at a recent City Council meeting.
So why can't it be funded through the CRA?
Because the CRA Board recommended to the City Council that this program be a city program, not a CRA program.
Citywide?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Just one quick question for me. Can you advise what the CRA was expending on this program? I see here we got 214,000 that we've dedicated for this particular program. Did the CRA have any type of expenditure to operate this program?
We can get exact numbers for you, but these costs haven't changed. By changing it from the CRA to the city, it hasn't changed the cost. It still requires multiple staff members. It still requires a lift truck. So there's no change in the costs, individual costs to put it up or take it down per se.
So basically, because we transferred it basically from the CRA over to the city, we are pulling those funds from a different bucket, basically. Instead of coming out of the CRA budget, then it'll have to come out of, I guess, probably the general fund.
Primarily, yes, with the exception of the cost for any new banners that may be needed.
Okay. All right. Councilmember Lasker?
Thank you, Mayor. Ms. Weiss, can you also, just for the public, reiterate in terms of what those banners will be hosting? Like, will they be celebrating our city events? Will they be celebrating holidays? Could you give us an idea?
In accordance with the discussion that we had at the Committee of the Whole meeting, we included in your resolution a schedule. If you look at the exhibits there, you'll see a schedule for the planned themes for each of those. There's holiday messaging, there's veterans, military appreciation type messaging. So
Thank you.
that's included in the resolution.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, I see no other lights on, so I entertain a motion regarding resolution 354-25.
Motion to approve.
Any other council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell. Gunter.
Aye.
Paduk.
Aye.
Kilrain.
Aye.
Lastra.
Aye.
Lehman. Long.
Aye.
Steinke.
Aye.
7 ayes, 1 nay, motion carried.
Thank you. We'll move on to resolution 365-25. Councilmember Kaduki, you pulled this item. I'll turn the floor over to you.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. So 365-25, while it doesn't require a budget amendment, I was wondering about staffing for the dredge and transport for the dredge and how that's being funded. If it's not a budget amendment, how are we paying for the additional staff? Are there projected costs? Just wondering what we're doing and if that's going to be a budget amendment later. Thank you.
James Breakfield, Deputy Public Works Director. All of the other components that you spoke of are in our existing capacity. So we have personnel that will be assigned to this with their normal duties, and all equipment for function, support, transport, and launching recovery of the vessels.
We already have transport for the dredge?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Just one quick question for me. Is this a replacement or will this be an additional piece of equipment?
In the past, all of the dredge equipment was sold off. So this is now the initial piece of something coming back that's more for a small maintenance purpose than for wholesale dredging.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing no other lights on, I entertain a motion for Resolution 365-25.
Motion to approve.
Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell. Gunter.
Aye.
Paduk.
Aye.
Kilrain.
Aye.
Lastra.
Aye.
Lehman. Long.
Aye.
Steinke.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, move on to item 8B, appointments to boards and committees, first of which is the Grievance Committee. We have one applicant, and I'm assuming one vacancy, Madam City Clerk?
Your Honor, with the Grievance Committee, every 2 years, we put out advertising for as many applications as we can receive. It's an unlimited amount of vacancies. This year, we had a response from Mr. Mark Mirth.
Okay. All right, so we have one applicant that's applied. We got the one vacancy. Do we want to hear from that individual? I think we all know exactly who that individual is. So I think Councilmember Donnell can put a face to a name. So with that, I'll entertain a motion.
I have a
Go ahead, sir.
comment. With this motion, I think that it's a shame that we have to scrape the bottom of the barrel for someone of this caliber. In all due respect, I think that Mark certainly has done a great job and has been a strong contributor across the ways, and I strongly support his appointment. So thank you. I'd make the motion for his appointment.
Second.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell.
Aye.
Gunter.
Aye.
Paduk.
Aye.
Kilrain.
Aye.
Lastra.
Aye.
Lehman. Long.
Aye.
Steinke.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, the next item on the agenda, we had the Charter School Authority Governing Board. We have 4 vacancies, and I believe as of tonight, we have 4 applicants. We have 2 individuals that withdrew, and that is a Dwayne Moore and a Judith Thomas Fernandez. So that still leaves 4 other applicants and 4 positions. Is that correct, Madam City Clerk?
Your Honor, that is correct.
I know there's some complexities that I was
There
going to
is.
mention after
Okay.
this. The complexities are, we have basically a couple different openings. We have a business community opening. Unfortunately, the 2 applicants that withdrew kind of fit the criteria there. So I would assume, Madam City Clerk, we can re-advertise that position.
Yes, sir.
All right, and then that leaves us 2 other specific categories. One is the educational community, which 2 of the individuals fall within that category. And then community at large, and of course, the other 2 applicants fit that criteria as well. So my understanding, we'll address the educational community first, where we have 2 applicants. We'll have a discussion with council and eventually a motion, and then whoever the other individual that isn't picked in the educational community will automatically drop down, and we will have 3 applicants for those positions, correct?
Community at large, yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. All right, so why don't we start with the educational community specific category? There's 2 applicants. Do you know if they're here tonight?
They are both here, yes.
Okay. And we usually do 1 minute for each applicant to introduce themselves. Is the board okay with continuing with that process?
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Madam City Clerk?
Rendellin Amaker.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. My name is Rendellin Amaker. I've met you before in this chamber. I am a recently retired elementary school principal with 35 years of educational experience. I have my bachelor's degree in English. a master's degree in English as well from Nova Southeastern University, and I'm currently a law student at Florida State University at the School of Law. I have taught on every educational level, the elementary level, kindergarten, 3rd and 5th grade. In middle school, I taught language arts. 6th through 8th, high school, I taught English. I've taught adult education in the ESOL program, and I have also been an adjunct professor at Broward College in Broward County. I have my professional certification. I have it in English, journalism, ESOL. Oh, that's a whole minute.
Yep.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to serve.
Thank you.
Sarah Katine.
Good evening, Council. My name is Sarah Katine. I currently hold the education seat on the Charter School Governing Board. This would be my opportunity to be appointed in my own right. The past year, I have finished Mr. Pease's term. I have a son who is in the 1st grade at Oasis Elementary North. And I also have 6 years of classroom experience with both middle and high school math with Lee County School District. My time in the classroom, I feel, as well as now being a parent, has given me valuable insight into what those students need from their teachers and what those teachers and staff members need to be successful. And I just look forward to an opportunity to continue to serve the Cape Coral community and the Oasis community. Thank you.
Thank you. So they're the only two individuals for the educational community specifically, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So I guess what we'll do is we'll go down our voting order, and each council member can pick which particular item, or I'm sorry, individual that they support for that position.
Donnell. Gunter.
Katine.
Kaduke.
Amaker.
Kilrain.
Katine.
Lastra.
Amaker.
Lehman. Long.
Katine.
Steinke.
Katine.
So that's 3 for Amaker and 5 for Katine.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to reflect that.
Motion to approve as the vote came out.
Second.
Which is Ms. Katine.
Katine, yes.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell.
Aye.
Gunter.
Aye.
Kaduke.
Aye.
Kilrain.
Aye.
Lastra.
Aye.
Lehman. Long.
Aye.
Steinke.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, and Ms. Amaker, she'll go ahead and move down to the community at large. So we'll have 3 applicants there. We have 2 other individuals. Madam City Clerk, would you like to call them up for their 1-minute introduction?
Maikisha Ataselli.
Ooh. Hello, Mayor, City Council. Ooh, I've got this 1 minute. Ooh, that goes fast. My name is Maikisha Ataselli. I have had the absolute privilege of serving on the Oasis Board since April 20th, 2022. And since I was appointed to the board, I graduated with my Master's of Social Work. In my day-to-day job, I have the privilege of standing with families and youth who are impacted in our criminal justice system. And I believe that that experience helps me to understand the importance of school and how Oasis impacts this community. I think that having that experience and understanding is a perspective that I bring to the board, and I would be very honored if you continue to consider me for an additional term. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher Jackson.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. My name is Christopher Jackson. So as the current chair of the board, I'd like to respectfully request your consideration for a reappointment. Over my term, I've built and maintained a strong working relationship with our charter school staff and administration, as well as with various city departments, directors, and community partners. I'm deeply committed to continuing the collaborative work that I've helped our schools thrive and remain focused on advancing initiatives that support academic excellence, student success, and community engagement. My goal is to help guide our charter schools towards continued growth as a high-performing A-rated institution. And I'd be honored to continue in serving in this capacity and to see these efforts through to completion. Again, I'd like to thank you for your consideration, and I'd be open to any questions that you may have. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Madam City Clerk, it looks like we still have 3 positions open, and it looks like 3 applicants that are still left to choose from. Is that correct?
Well, it's actually 2 in the community at large category. The other vacancy is under the business category.
Okay. All right, and could you, Mr. City Attorney, can you explain, because I know, if I recall correctly, this has recently changed, or was that another board that was recently
I think it was
changed?
recently changed.
Is the makeup of the board, is that kind of set in stone? Is that a?
This one is.
This one is the other?
Yeah, we changed the one for the youth council.
Youth council.
We allowed a little
Okay.
bit of flexibility to address the
Okay.
outcome.
All right, so we basically have 3 applicants for 2 positions at the community at large.
Yes.
Okay. So with that being said, Madam City Clerk, if you could go down the voting order again, and we'll pick 2 individuals.
Donnell,
Jackson.
Jackson.
Attiselli, and Jackson. Gunter,
Children.
Gunter,
My 2 picks will be for reappointment for both individuals, Jackson and Estelli.
Kaduk,
Estelli and Jackson.
Kilrain,
Reappointments for Ethel and Jackson.
Lastra,
Estelli and Jackson, whatever.
Lehman, Long,
Attiselli and Jackson.
Steinke.
Attiselli and Jackson.
Okay, that's 8 for Attiselli and 8 for Jackson.
I'll entertain a motion to reflect that.
Motion to reflect Ethel and Jackson to be the accepted members,
Second,
appointed members.
second,
Any other discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell,
Aye.
Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduk,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
aye.
Lehman, Long, Steinke.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Thank you, Ms. Amaker. I think you're an excellent candidate, and I wish we had a position for you. But please keep us in mind for the future because your credentials, I think you could sit on this board very easily. Thank you for applying. All right, let's move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the ratification of the chair and vice chair of the Community Redevelopment Agency. Back on November 12th of this year, the CRA approved Commissioner Lastra as the chair and Commissioner Kilrain as the vice chair. So as a result of that, that has to come before City Council to be ratified. Mr. City Attorney, can we do that under one motion, or do we have to do each the chair and the vice chair?
You could do it under one motion, just ratification.
Okay.
One motion is sufficient.
All right, so I will open up for a motion or any discussion.
I'll make the motion to appoint chair and vice chair as Lastra and Kilrain.
And it's just a ratification of the action taken by the CRA board regarding Commissioner Lastra as the chair and Commissioner Kilrain as the vice chair for the CRA board for the period of the year 2026.
That's what I said, Mr. Johnson.
I'll second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second. So with that being said, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell,
Aye.
Gunter,
Aye.
Paduk,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman, Long,
Aye.
Steinke.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
8C is unfinished business. C1 is follow-up items for council. There's none listed. Follow-up items for city management, none listed. D is new business. There is none listed. Item 9 is ordinances and resolutions. Item 9A is quasi judicial hearings. We do not have any listed tonight. 9B are legislative public hearings. First of which is ordinance 62-25. Madam City Clerk, please read the title.
Ordinance 62-25, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cape Coral, Florida, approving the First Amendment to interlocal agreement between the city of Cape Coral, a Florida municipal corporation, and Lee County, a political subdivision of the state of Florida, to add Fire Station 13 as an authorized fire station to house Lee County emergency vehicles and personnel. Authorizing the mayor to execute the First Amendment to interlocal agreement, providing an effective date.
Okay, thank you. I'll have staff go ahead and make a presentation. So, good evening, Chief.
Good evening. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Mike Russell, Fire Chief. For your consideration tonight, we have an amendment to our existing agreement with Lee County EMS. This would provide for a transportation unit, and Lee County provides all of our transportation services in our fire station. So this would add an additional to Station 13. This is very important for the operational considerations of the city, as Station 13 is located near the area of Del Prado and Pine Island Road, one of our busier corridors. So this would add an ambulance at Station 13. We maintain a great relationship with EMS, both administratively and operationally, and we would ask for your approval of this amendment tonight.
Okay, thank you. I now open up public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 62-25, please come forward. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion regarding ordinance 62-25?
Motion to approve.
All right. Just one quick thing I wanted to add to Chief Russell's comments. About 3 years ago, I'm guessing about 3 years ago, myself and Chief Land at the time met with the county manager. The city manager at that time was with us. One of the things I was advocating for was to get additional EMS units to the city of Cape Coral. At that time, we only had 5 that was assigned to the city of Cape Coral. Chief, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe this will make number 11. Is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
So we've made great strides since then. One of the agreements that we had with the county was we would allow them to be housed in our fire departments. And I think, as you can see, to go from 5 to 11 in such a short period of time, to me, that was a no-brainer because we have over double the coverage today than we did 3 years ago. So, and that's a testament to Chief Lamb, Chief Russell, the 2 city managers getting together and trying to make sure that, EMS, which is about 75-80% of our calls here, in Cape Coral, we want to make sure that we had the proper coverage, not to mention the rescue units that we've also implemented and put in place. So great job. I would definitely support this. Seeing no other lights on, we have a motion and second on the floor. Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell,
Aye.
Gunter,
Aye.
Kaduk,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman, Long,
Aye.
Steinke.
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, let's move on to ordinance 64-25. Madam City Clerk, please read the title.
Ordinance 64-25, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cape Coral, Florida, amending the city of Cape Coral, Florida Code of Ordinances, Chapter 29, Economic Development and Business Incentive Programs, Article 1, General Provisions, Sections 29-2, 29-3, 29-4, regarding the goals and general program requirements and guidelines for the economic and business development incentives, amending Chapter 29, Economic Development and Business Incentive Programs. Article 2, Incentives, Sections 29-7, 29-8, 29-9, and 29-10, regarding modifications to certain economic incentive programs, providing for codification and resolution of conflicting laws, providing for severability and an effective date.
Okay, I'll turn it over to staff.
Good afternoon, Mayor, council members. Sharon Woodbury, Economic Development Manager. I'm here today to discuss, or before you is the proposed amendments to the Chapter 29 Economic Development Incentive Programs. These changes were presented to you during the October 15th Committee of the Whole meeting. I have the presentation here if you'd like to review it again. Otherwise, I can stand by for any questions.
Okay, everyone recall the presentation that we just had and the backup material. Everybody's okay?
Sure.
All right.
Yep.
All right, I will open up public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak on ordinance 64-25, please come forward. Seeing none, public hearing is now closed, and I'll entertain a motion regarding ordinance 64-25.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Is there any other council discussion? Seeing none, Madam City Clerk, please call the roll.
Donnell,
Aye.
Gunter,
Aye.
Duke,
Aye.
Kilrain,
Aye.
Lastra,
Aye.
Lehman, Long,
Aye.
Steinke,
Aye.
8 ayes, motion carried.
Okay, just a reminder, if you want to speak for citizens input, you haven't filled out a card, city clerk is over there collecting the cards now. Please make sure you get one to her. Item 10 is citizens input time, which is a maximum 60 minutes set on the input of citizens on matters concerning city government, 3 minutes per individual. Please remember to state your name for the record. Please remain seated until your name is called by the city clerk, and then you'll come forward, use the podium to my left, your right. Madam City Clerk.
Donald Hazlett,
I'd like to feel like this isn't a waste of my time. I mean, corruption is very horrible. To be dragged out of my driveway at gunpoint by police officers and not a single soul actually give a shit.
Sir, you can't use
Sir.
curse words.
As much as I've been disrespected, I really do not need you to tell me what I can and can't do. I have a
I'm
First
sorry, you can't
Amendment
use
right
profanity.
to speak how I choose. And I'm being very polite and considering the things that I've been through. And no one has nothing to say. You guys just think I'm going to go away? You think this problem is going to disappear? It's not. Far from it. I don't need the whole 3 minutes if y'all ain't got nothing to say. It's clearly a waste of my time. But I would think that it would be a consideration of yours not to be a waste of your time. What about the citizens of this city? I happen to be one of them. And I don't really care for cowards. Right, Michael? I'm so tired of fucking that part. I'm very been abused by this system. And then to drag me across the river and through that court system, it's disappointing. When does any of you guys stand up for us? We are the people, aren't we? Isn't every dime that you're spending ours? I mean, you rubber stamp things like it doesn't matter. I've been here 14 years and I've watched it grow. I used to enjoy the peace and quiet and the people and everything. But thanks to a chosen few, I can no longer do that. And it isn't my fault. I'm an innocent man that's been abused. There's no other word I can use. Human rights violations, for God's sakes. And none of you all care. You come at me like I've done something wrong to any one of you, and I haven't. In fact, I don't know any of you. You know, Jennifer, when I gave you my number, I was hoping that you would have called back. I really was. I was hoping that somebody would care. But obviously no one does. And Mayor, that is your fault because these are your employees. You're responsible for the whole shooting match, everything from the top to the bottom. And when citizens are standing in front of you begging for help, it's not between me and the police department, sir. It's between you and your police department. I'm a victim, and I damn sure do not deserve to have one more ounce of being victimized by anyone.
Thank you. Your 3 minutes is up. Thank you, sir.
We're having a little trouble with our timer. We have a backup one that we're going
Okay.
to put on the microphone.
All right.
Adam Gorman and Lane Jones.
Good afternoon. I am Adam Garman. This one comes a little bit after his, and I just wanted to say thank you for everything you guys are doing for us. This city is beautiful, getting back on its feet after a hurricane. Darnell, about 10 years ago, I emailed you with a problem in North Cape Coral, and you came through within a day. So that's it. I just wanted to say thank you and great job everybody's doing.
Thank you.
Lane Jones and Kyle Lahamadou.
Hello, Lane Jones. I live on 36 Terrace, and I'm here to address the idea of a flagpole 250 feet tall to celebrate our country's some patriotic thing. Anyway, Mr. Iljitson seems to want this so badly. Why don't we put that in his backyard? I think he could probably get some expedited permitting. He seems to think that this is the cost of the puppy is the price of the whole thing. We're going to run this up and we're going to take public donations, presumably from contractors and anyone else who wants to just grease some skids with a little bit of money going to a very public effort. We're not supposed to say the word flag and stupid in the same sentence. I heard someone say that, but we can say decision and stupid in the same sentence. And we can say not being good shepherds of the public purse as a sentence, which is your primary job. This is a nice to have, not a need to have, and it does not have anything to do with the patriotism of anyone in this community. What it has to do is the profligate waste of taxpayer money. Again, y'all haven't learned your lessons. You're back at it. Enough already. Thank you.
Thank you.
Kyle Amadou, District 7. On the UEP, I have a question. If the UEP, we're all in my district, I think we're east or west or whatever it is, and we're all paying into this, what happens if there are excess funds left over? What happens to those funds? And then what happens if there's not enough funds to pay for everything? Where does the gap in money come from? That's something I'd like to know. I'd also like to know if there is some type of spreadsheet that was used to do all the addresses and figure out all the charges. I'd appreciate an answer to that. I'll also quickly touch on the flagpole. Again, I think it's a waste of money. Everybody, I'm assuming, knows I even donated to it because I stated I would, that if it's with 100% donations. What's going to happen if the donations do not come through? What's going to happen to the people who donated? I'm curious, they're going to get their money back, or are you guys going to find some other funding, or are we all just going to get taxed to make it happen? Yacht Club seems to, again, just be a pissing away of money. The project, again, keeps on ballooning out of control. And I also believe that someone asked here in June if FF&E was included, and they were advised yes on public record, and then we were told FF&E is not included, I believe, last month on public record. So some clarification on whether it is or is not included would be nice, and if it is included, great. If it's not, we deserve an answer to why we were told it was included. So that's something else. And then, that's obviously, Mr. Mason, your pants are on fire. And then you asked about 15% increase in spending, and you said you were going to send an email. I'm just curious if I got a response to it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Christopher Jackson and Julia Atari.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. I'm going to read my statement because I can typically write better than I speak. So I just wanted to take a moment and acknowledge something that I feel is important. So I fully understand that many of the decisions that Council has to make are very difficult decisions, and that no choice will ever please everyone. But I hope you also understand that there are constituents who see value and appreciate the work that you're doing. I, for one, believe in investing in beautiful parks, well-maintained streets, and cutting-edge yacht club that can bring new energy, tourism, and revenue into our cities. I believe in turning blight into beauty and creating a community we can all be proud of. So while some of the naysayers may be the loudest voices in the room, that does not mean that they are a majority. Many of us support the progress, the vision, and the commitments you bring to this city, even if we aren't always the ones here at this microphone. So with that being said, thank you for your service and your continued commitment to move our city forward. Again, I know that the decisions you always make are difficult ones and they won't please everybody, but don't think that the naysayers that come to the meetings or on the communities are, sometimes the naysayers are the loudest, but that doesn't mean that they're a majority. So thank you for your commitment and all that you do for us. So it's appreciated.
Thank you.
Good evening. Julia Atari, take out the trash, Kate Carl, a naysayer. Anyhow, let's put the flagpole to rest. Everybody is fighting over the flagpole. Did we vote on moving this as a city project? I would like an answer to that tonight. There was no public input. There was no city meetings, nothing held to take this on as a city project. So how did this become a city project? We have signs all over the city with barcodes saying donate to the flag. Who's paying for that? How much money is coming out of the city budget for this? You're using city workers, you're using paper, you're using everything that you're using to promote this. I heard on the radio, we have joined with the city of Cape Coral to put up the largest flag. Well, I'm part of the city of Cape Coral and I don't remember joining this club. So I'd like to know what steps you took to make this a legal action. Legally, to say this is a city project, because I come to every meeting and I didn't see any of that happen. It was a dream of the city manager and it just went viral and crazy. But it was never approached the city. If you can raise that much money for a flag, I think you could help the people that have no water. There's a reason why there's so many houses for sale here. They can't afford to stay. The electric, the water, everything right down to the grocery stores. It's too much. You're spending too much. We say it all the time. But you have to follow legal channels. And I don't think just saying we're going to put up a flagpole and we're going to get donations and where's the bank account? Where's the money going? How much money have you spent on the advertising? Who's paying for that? Those are questions you have to answer. And I don't want to hear, oh, I have to think about it or I'll get back to you, because the person that put this forward is sitting in this room. Thank you.
Dave Kalish and Dan Shepard.
Santa's outside.
So Dan Shepherd, AKA Chris Kringle.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, along with the citizens of Cape Coral. And I have a holiday message. As we all go home and celebrate Christ's birth, remember that God gave us a great gift. It's called love. So as we're starting the new year together, let's all add some salt and light to the community, as each of us. If we all add salt and light to the community, just think of what it can do. So thank you again. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dave Kalish.
I had to bring my sweatshirt. It was too cold last week or whenever. Anyway, like she said, I'm Dave Kalish. I'm here, and no offense, but people are saying that the naysayers aren't the majority of the city, okay? They really shouldn't be making an opinion like that. I don't make an opinion about them, okay? Everybody's entitled to feel the way they want, but it's not something that needs to go on record where you can make up whatever you want, and that's what's going on, and I take offense to that. Okay, just give me a second. I was kind of, the members of the Cape Coral Charter Review Commission, okay? They're elected by the council and the mayor, from what I understand, okay? They are going to put something out to the people as to you guys need to get raises because it's a full-time job. I need to understand, and I make sure that the people in the city know this too. How can you guys all have a full-time job and call this a full-time job? You got to be kidding me. You can't do both. I've never seen anybody do both. So I take offense to that. I take offense to a lot of things. You guys know that by now. Okay, you're having that meeting on the golf course. That's Thursday, I believe, at 5:30. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make that. I really wish I could, but I'll see if I can get someone to go there so we can at least find out what's going on, because everything is, some people gave you guys compliments and you're all not bad, okay? But for the most part, what you guys do is, it's very, very, very discouraging. If I could afford it, I'd leave the city yesterday. And thank you.
Thank you.
That's all for the comment cards.
Okay, I'll open up for any council's comments regarding public input. Councilmember Laster.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to address, and I'm sad Mr. Hazelit left, but I just wanted to clarify something. I know he called me out and said that he gave me his number and he thought I would call him. And it's not that I don't want to help. I'll help anybody that asks me for help if it's within my power. And sadly, in Mr. Hazelit's case, as Mr. City Manager pointed out a month or so ago, it's way above our pay grade. There isn't anything that we in this building or this council can do to help him. What I was going to suggest to him was to reach out to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and file his complaint of corruption within our police department. They are the state body that handles that type of complaint, and I'm going to highly recommend that he do that in the future or soon so that he can get clarity on his case. Let's see, Mr. Lamadou, thank you for coming as always. UEP, I'll probably let Councilmember Kadouk handle those answers, but about the leftover funds, if not, we can get you an email and get that information to you. And then again, with the equipment and the fixtures that was brought up a few weeks ago, I don't have any information on that. So maybe Councilmember Kadouk does. Let's talk flag. Ms. Atari and Ms. Jones, thank you for coming. The flag, I guess I look at it kind of like with Youth Council, like what I'm trying to do with Youth Council, which is trying to raise money to bring these kids to Washington, D.C., so that it doesn't affect our taxpayer dollars. I know that our communications department spends their time and does advertise events that we have or have had. And I don't know what the cost is, but I can certainly find that out. I think Mr. City Manager pointed out very clearly that this would come from donations, so it wouldn't affect those of us, the taxpayers. But there are valid points. What's the upkeep going to be? Who's going to be responsible for that? How much is that going to cost? What's that going to entail? I don't have those answers yet, but I'll try to get them. And I'm sure as time goes on, Mr. City Manager will probably elaborate on that as well. But we can certainly look into that. Mr. Kalish, I hope you do come to the old golf course meeting on Thursday. It's going to be right here, and I'm super excited for it. I know there's a lot of concerns with a lot of the projects that we have going on at the same time in terms of taxpayer money and where the funding source is coming from. So those will be questions that I know we can ask in our upcoming first budget meeting that we're going to have after the first of the year. So that'll be on my list of questions to ask. We will be here on Thursday, so I'm glad that you're coming. And lastly, Mr. Foreman and Mr. Jackson, can you say that louder for the people in the back? I'm just kidding. It's so nice to hear that, and we appreciate it. But as many residents point out, you take the good with the bad. 50% will support, 50% won't. And, that's a tough decision for all of us up here because you can't make everyone happy all the time. But I don't think there's anyone up here who isn't committed to this city. We're all taxpayers too, and I think that people forget that. So increasing taxes and fees is not definitely something we all want to do to ourselves. And of course, we're elected by you. So I appreciate your comments. I appreciate all the comments. And Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Councilmember Steinke.
Thank you, Mayor. And I don't know, Mr. City Manager, if we do have someone in the audience right now that would have a quick answer to what happens to excess funds from UEP. It's a very, very calculated or very, very complicated calculation, I know, from the start to the finish. And I believe it's recalculated because of changing interest rates and all the rest of things. But if there's a quick answer that could be done to say, hey, at the very end, when it's all over with and the money's collected and we know what the expense was, what happens to too much money or a deficit in money?
It gets returned, and we have done, we do a reconciliation at the time of the project being complete. So in a couple of years, when all the costs are finalized and the last check is made, there'll be a reconciliation. That's the first point. And then for all of those people that are in the payment plan, at the end of the term, if there's a balance, that gets returned. So there's 2 points. So for anybody that prepaid up front, there's a reconciliation at the time of last bill out the door. And if what was assumed is not what was needed, they'll get a refund. And then for anybody that stayed in the payment plan, at the end of that term, 20, 30 years later, there's another reconciliation of what was due from all the bills. And if there's funds left over, it gets returned.
Okay.
I need to say nothing else.
Okay. All right.
And you just need to look no further than do a Google search, and you can see over the last 5-10 years for assessments that were in the 80s, 90s to early 2000s, we issue refunds.
Okay, great, thank you. As it relates to comments about how can you do 2 full-time jobs, I would guess that there's people in this audience through their lifetimes have held 2 and 3 jobs. I have. Raising 3 kids, there were times when I had 3 jobs. Day job, night job, and a weekend job. I moved furniture because I needed the money to raise my kids. So this position does require that kind of time. It's not on a 9-to-5 basis. It's not on a third shift basis. It's basically anytime you can do it. There's 168 hours in a week. You figure 2 full-time jobs takes up 80 hours of that. There's 88 hours left. So it can be done, and it is being done by those that carry full-time jobs and the job required to be on council. And as it relates to the flag, I thought that was a great idea, although from a different seat up here, I said I would only be in favor if it was publicly funded. For those that don't remember, that actually is a part of the Cape Coral Parkway 6-laning expansion and the bridge expansion from Lee County, or from Fort Myers to here, because our monument has to be moved. In that effort, the monument had to be moved, and during a cow, we talked about where would we want to put that? Do we want to keep it? Do we want to eliminate it? What do we want to do? And the thought of having the flag that's been proposed was a part of the movement of that monument from where it currently sits to a new, if you will, park area where it could be more publicly viewed, and the idea of placing the flag there to commemorate us being Purple Heart City in honor of all of our veterans, and yes, to draw attention to our beautiful city. That's where that came up, and so I am still in favor of it as long as it is publicly funded. And I think that during that cow, this council showed support for that being done as long as it was publicly funded. And the efforts that are being put in place right now to raise funds are from people that want to contribute and are like-minded in that regard to be able to do that without taxpayer dollars. And that's it for me.
Councilmember Lehman?
Yeah. Mr. City Manager, with regards to the flagpole, how much money has been collected yet by donations? I've heard numbers like 35,000 thrown around, yet the cost of the flag is 500,000. Can you shed some light on this, please?
God bless America. Let me start off with this. I serve this country as well as many others to give people the freedom to speak for and against anything they want in this great nation. And so I applaud everybody that has either donated or has concerns about the flagpole. We live in America. We have the right to speak, and people are exercising that right. That's the whole purpose of this flag project. 250 years, next July 4th. We're seeking to try and raise funds for a 250-foot flagpole to honor our country and everyone who served in the military for it, all the ideals and freedoms that it represents. So let me start with that.
Please keep your comments.
We are taking checks at the counter in the cashier's office. We also have a website that allows people to donate for free. And we are also, every other week, I go on 92.5, who has agreed to partner with the city and provide the airtime to make this happen. They're in full support of it. So there are numerous places that donations are in. The last time I checked across all of those, we're over 60,000. Okay. Publicly, what people can see is 30 something, because that's on the I think it's Give Butter site. But we have other people that have pledged and are writing checks. And then as those come in, occasionally when staff has time, they will try to enter in the checks. They will try to enter in the people's names into the Give Butter site, so at least they can get some recognition. The 500,000, I explained this in a previous council meeting. We have gotten unofficial quotes in the $380,000 to $400,000 range. We put 500 up because we didn't know if we were going to get contractors to donate in-kind services. We have already had several contractors. There was one in the audience the night that I discussed this who said he would donate the paver promenade. My understanding from the project managers, we have somebody who has agreed to donate the electric work and some lighting. So we are focusing all of our efforts all the way through till next July 4th to have the flagpole.
Okay.
Thank you.
Question though. if the total cost, and I understand we have a lot of people that are willing to donate their work, the electrical work, the concrete pads and whatnot, but the actual flagpole and the flags that are going to be used, if enough money is not collected in donations, is then the flagpole going to become a city purchase order? In which case then it's getting paid, the difference is getting paid for by the city?
I'm not prepared to get ahead of our community and assume what is going to happen.
Okay.
At some point down the road, if we do not raise enough based on the actual cost of the flagpole, then I will have to make a determination what to do with those donations.
So it's not going to be a city purchase order to ultimately purchase the flagpole and the flags?
City council made that very clear to me several months ago.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Kaduc.
Thank you, Mayor. Regarding the UEP questions, I believe the resident was asking what happens after it's teed up if we didn't have enough funds, meaning.
I fire all my financing staff.
Yeah, we've refunded.
Just kidding.
We've refunded,
That
but we
should never
haven't ever
happen.
charged more. So is there a methodology why we already have enough money and that's why people are being refunded?
Yeah, so they put together, I believe the resident asked, do we have spreadsheets? Yes, we know to the square foot exactly how many square feet each property is. We have the bids from the projects. We know exactly the cost allocations to what's transportation, what's stormwater, what's assessment, what's capital facility expansion charge. We've been doing these assessments for 30 years. And so it has not happened in my 24 years that we have run short. But I suppose that could happen, but I have full confidence in all of my finance staff that is not going to happen.
So like myself, I received a bill. I pay it by March 31st if I prepay.
Yes.
I'm not going to get a bill later saying, oh, you owe even more.
No, you're going to bill, if you prepay the bill, when we reconcile all those, based on where the actual expense came in, final, then you would actually get a refund at that time from what was collected.
And I guess just to get more in the weeds of that, for all the people that are prepaying, now that's giving finance the direction of what they need to bond out.
So the more people that, in the past, we actually offered prepayment discounts because the more cash we got in up front allowed us to debt fund less. We don't offer that anymore, but that was one
I'll just
mechanism
wait
in
for
the
my
past.
refund.
Yeah, but so that's the reason that we close the prepayment period before we do that.
Yeah.
So that we know roughly what we need to debt fund.
And I think it's important to note that the governor had a press conference today where he actually mentioned specifically Cape Coral and grants that could be coming. So hopefully we will secure some of those. On the UEP as well, I'm assuming it's a property appraiser's website that you're downloading all the data so that you know the size of the lots.
If you recall, during the assessment hearing, and you looked at the amount, there was a payment made to the property appraiser. We actually purchased data from them for the specific assessment itself.
Yep.
So we get everything about that. And we do the same thing for our other assessments, like the fire service assessment. We get the detailed building information, all the building extra features. On all of our assessments, we have agreements with the property appraiser's office to obtain the data we need to administer the assessment.
Awesome, thank you. And regarding the email I sent to staff on the spending over 15%, to answer your question, staff did respond to me on one of my emails. I sent a follow-up email and I haven't received that answer back, but when I do, I'll be sure to forward it to you so you can see what I asked and what they responded with. To Mr. Shepherd, Merry Christmas. And Mr. Kalish, I know that you mentioned, is this a full-time job? It is if you want to care and you want to put into it. In fact, I implore anyone watching to go look at our very last council meeting, not tonight, but last time, and add up how much money we approved to spend. If you don't think that's a full-time job, that's concerning because we spent hundreds of millions of dollars and all of us up here have flexible jobs. In fact, I think I asked Councilmember Donnell one time, how is he doing this? Because his full-time job isn't necessarily like hours where they're flex hours. And he said he doesn't get paid on Wednesdays so that he could serve up here. So I do believe this to be a full-time job, as well being a full-time mother and wife and working at the bank full-time. But again, I have a flexible schedule at the bank. If I were a teller at the bank, there's no way I'd be able to do this. It would be out of the question. So yeah, when you're looking at should we be paid more and if it's full-time or not full-time, our city is huge. It is what the people want. Do you want full-time representation or not? And when people get mad at us for not responding to phone calls or emails, I remind them that I work full-time and that this is my part-time job. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, just one thing I just wanted, go ahead.
Yeah, just one thing to add on UEP. City manager, we have a 5% contingency on all the projects too. So I mean, that's right in there. So if that's not exercised and utilized, that's part of the rebate that comes back. So, and you have not utilized all the 5% overages that we have built into those in the past because you did an accounting on that. I've seen the accounting, and that accounting shows that there was leftover funds available. So that's a key point. The other thing, not recognition of citizens' input, but I think that Chief Russell missed the memo on the beards, or is it the Scott Air Pact impact that you don't have the beard, just the mustache? City attorney was actually commenting on it. He probably wants to talk to you later. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. The only thing I wanted to point out, Ms. Jones, that you came to the podium speaking against the flag, and you said that we as a council should shepherd their purse and be good stewards of taxpayers' money. And I think we've already done that because we've already directed the city manager not to use any type of general fund or any funding from the city, that it could only be through donations. So we've already answered the question that you stated up there at the podium. So I think we've already been good stewards of the tax dollars when we directed the city manager that we wouldn't pay for the flag, but we would support him in trying to get public donations. So that's all I have to say regarding the citizens' input. Please. You've already had your opportunity to speak, ma'am.
Yeah, you had 3 minutes, but are you going to answer
So-
my question?
So we'll get staff to get with you. So we will move on to the next item on the agenda is reports. And the first report is Councilmember Kilrain.
Let me just get this real quick. Since our last meeting, November 20th, Southwest Florida League of Cities talked about the communicating or the ad valorem challenge if the ad valorem tax basis change and how best to communicate that with residents. I think it was a very productive meeting. Mayor chaired that meeting for that group, and I think it's instrumental upon all of us to understand.
Please hold on a second. Ms. Atari, if you want to speak, you're going to have to go outside. You're being disruptive. We're trying to hear the council members speak. If you want to videotape, you can go out in the hallway and do all the videotaping you want. Go ahead. I apologize, Ms.
Sure,
Councilmember
no
Kilrain.
problem. And basically, I think that it was very informative.
Hold on again. Ms. Atari, it's the last time I'm going to tell you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mayor. And basically, I think it's important upon all of us to understand what that ad valorem impact is going to be as soon as it's cleared out. I understand they progressed 3 or 4 bills today to the next level and cut back, and only 3, I think, at this point in time. So they may have left a couple in the arrears. Among those was the homestead reduction bill. So that may be part of it. On November 21st, participating in Horizon Council were the various committee reports for the year. November 24th, went to Fire and Ice at Abishon, well attended, and hats off to Council Member Stanky, chaired and was MC at that night, and it was a very successful event from what I understand. So, and they continue to outpace their fundraising on that. So fantastic, and thank you, sir, for doing that. On the 25th, took a tour with city manager on JC Festival in Tropicana Park. And the progress that I saw in those parks is unbelievable. Went out on the boardwalk at JC Park, and that view is fantastic. It's going to be the best view that we have of the river and the mouth of the river from the whole city. You can see both bridges from there. That night, went to the Republican Club where Byron Donalds was there speaking. Tremendous meeting, 270 people attended. A great turnout for that event, and I think that man's on his way to do some great things. November 28th, participating in tree lighting. November 29th, snuck in, saw a little bit of the drone show, and that's a tremendous event. It's really starting to pick up attendance. Last night went to Kiwanis and also met with CCCIA, talking a little bit about some of their incentives that they'd like to have done yesterday. And I'll be in Orlando the 4th and the 5th. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Laster.
Thank you, Mayor. I too attended the tree lighting last week. It was beautiful. Great job to Parks and Recs and staff. I want to bring up two things. The first thing I would like to bring up is I had committed back in June when we changed citizens input time to the end of our meetings that I would analyze numbers. And I think you all got the numbers. I believe you all got this spreadsheet that I had asked to be sent around. And looking at the numbers, we're basically 85 when we had citizens input in the beginning of the meetings versus 70. And I committed to bring this up, and I just kind of wanted to get, I guess, Mayor, maybe a feel by a thumbs up, thumbs down, if there's any appetite from this council to look at revisiting this at a future Cal next year. And if there is no appetite to do that, then I will commit to looking at the numbers again from January to June. So do you want to just to ask people thumbs up, thumbs down, or what do you think, Mayor?
Yeah, we'll go throughout. Councilmember Kaduke has her light on. so
Okay,
if Anybody
perfect.
wants to speak?
Perfect. Go ahead.
Oh, my question would be, how many people were speaking specifically on the consent agenda? Because I believe we got that data and it was 0.
0, because I can't.
So with that, I'm a thumbs down. I'm not interested in changing it or
Okay.
looking at it.
Okay, fair enough.
Is any other council member interested in having?
Yeah, just
another
let me know if you want to bring this.
discussion?
Yeah.
No, the only comment I would make is that I think that basically I looked at the same data, and I think it's very topic oriented. And certainly was earlier on, very topic oriented. So it depends on what the topic is, and I'm thumbs down.
Okay.
Anybody in favor? Councilmember Lehman?
Yeah, actually, I would agree with Councilwoman Laster. If I'm understanding you correctly, you want to see it move back to where it was?
I mean, I would like to see if there's an appetite up here to at least have that discussion in a future Cal, but I don't want to just bring it to a Cal if there's no consensus to even look at changing it. And so far, we have 2 nays.
I would be a thumbs up to have that discussion.
Okay.
Because I think it needs to be moved back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anyone else want to comment on that? The only thing I'll say, I looked at the data as well, and if you back out the numbers where there's a specific topic, the numbers are almost identical then.
Correct.
So what I did was I took the numbers, and in several of those meetings, there may be something with the UEP or a hot topic, JC Park. You back those numbers out of the equation and then look at it in that perspective, we're almost the same. So I don't see a big detriment or advantage either way for me. So
That's exactly what I did.
that's where my position on it is. Councilmember Dono?
Yeah, I appreciate the effort because you did what you said you would do. And I think moving forward, one of the things that you all have already articulated, one of the things we talked about was the timing. And I think as we move forward to see what time, that was a big thing when we can't get here, it'll be later, but I'll be interested in another column about when we started citizens input, when we went to 4 o'clock. And that was I was looking for. So again, that data is, you know, what you seek is what you find. But I think that will be integral for us to know that now that we're starting at 4, if we have public input Because there were some nights we would start, like tonight, it started like 4:20.
Okay.
Whether it was before, they wouldn't get to the 5:30.
Okay, I can look at
But I'm
adding.
a thumbs down to change it based on that.
Okay, fair enough. I can add that for the next 6 months.
Councilmember Steinke?
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I would be a thumbs down to changing. I think it's still being effective on topic-based discussions. And what I would encourage is, when this is a business meeting where we come together to codify things and where we make, final decisions, and the emphasis is on the final decisions. All the research that's being done and the input that's gathered and whatnot happens typically well before this evening. And so the opportunity for input prior to this meeting, I think, are the ones that need to be taken advantage of. I'm surprised that there isn't more citizens input at committee of the whole, where it's more of the discussion time.
Mhm.
And if other things should be considered or other perspectives, should be expressed, it really should be then before we get down to the final decision time. So, I would, in the effort, I would, encourage the involvement sooner rather than at this meeting, and whether it should be at the beginning or the end of this meeting, but more, should it be before this meeting or at this meeting, I think is probably a more effective encouragement, if you will, is to have that time.
Sure, and I will say that since we've changed it, the amount of interaction with residents prior to these meetings with voicing their concerns has definitely increased and given us an opportunity to respond to them ahead of this meeting. So maybe that's helped too. Maybe they feel like they've been heard and, we've answered them, so they don't need to come here. So I just committed to doing it, so I wanted to bring it up.
And thank you for doing it.
Sure.
Councilmember Lehman, your light back on?
Yes. I also attended the tree lighting.
Wait, I'm not done yet.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
We're still on
Whatever.
Lasker. We haven't got to.
Listen, Johnson.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Excuse me, gentlemen.
I'm not done yet.
You didn't bring up the consent agenda again.
Okay.
Go ahead, Councilmember
Okay,
Lasker.
last thing, and I need y'all's guidance on this. So we have raised to date for Washington DC, $13,117.31. I am currently $5,582.69 short to bring the remaining kids. You heard from former Councilmember Stout that Kiwanis was willing to give us $5,000, but we would have to match it. As you can see, we don't need $10,000. We need $5,582. So I'm getting, not that, I mean, I could continue, I could go out, I could do a last hoorah push, end of year, please donate to this cause, and do that. But the problem is, Ms. Griglin and I, we've got to start booking all this stuff now so the cost stays low and we don't wait till the end. So I was going to ask if you all would approve to do maybe a 3,000 and a 3,000. So we get 3,000 from Kiwanis, and then we, as a council, as a city, as taxpayers, kick in another 3,000. But I'm not sure where that money would come from. So thank you, Mr. Mason. If we were to agree to do that, where would we get that money from? Where would we get $3,000 from? Mhm. Mhm. We have enough? Okay. Okay. So then my next question would be, do we need to have a vote or something if we wanted to use that money for youth council, or would it need to be amended, or how would that work, Mr. Mason? Oh, it is? So it doesn't matter. Yes. Okay. Okay, that's going to be my last resort. I'm going to do one final push the next 2 weeks to try to get this $5,582 and not have to dip into our budget. So I'm going to do one final push, and then I may come back, and then we may go the other route. Never mind. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilmember Lehman. You have a report?
Are you finished now, Jennifer?
Yes, ma'am.
Wanted to make sure. At any rate, for all the people that complain about everything in Cape Coral, the tree lighting and then on Saturday night, the drone show were so well attended. It was packed. Both nights was absolutely packed. They were both wonderful. And I think people need to realize that there are a lot of things that Cape Coral does that they don't do in other cities. There are a lot of things for community involvement that people need to be more aware of. Read the On the Move that the city manager sends out that tells you what's going on in the city, because there's such a difference. There's so many things that go on, and there's so many positive things about Cape Coral that seem to fall through the cracks at times. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
You're welcome. Councilmember Long, report.
No report, Mayor.
Councilmember Steinke.
Thank you, Mayor. I attended the Southwest Florida League of Cities monthly meeting on the 20th of November. On the 25th, I also attended with Councilmember Kilrain, Byron Donald's visit to our city. He was very well received, had a lot of good things to say, and I was there in the hopes of catching him for a short conversation, but he was in and out. But for those that are interested, we have called upon his office to assist us with our need for dredging permits. There was a group of citizens that I've been working with that helped produce a letter that we sent to his office. And then that was followed by a letter from our city, authored by the mayor. And he has contacted federal contacts in an effort to speed that process so that we can get the dredging that we so desperately need done as soon as we can get those permits approved. And that's it for me.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Donnell.
Thank you, Mayor. Number one, I did say Jackson, sorry. All right, get back to my report. So.
You did it.
So.
What's great is these things are recorded.
Excuse me, Mayor, don't I have the floor, please?
Yeah,
Could you
yes,
tell them to relax?
Yeah. Point of order.
Next Wednesday, our next meeting, everybody make sure you make plans to be here. Those littles and the owlets, they're going to come to be doing a chorus, and I am so excited. It's going to happen at 3:30 right before the meeting, so we're not cutting into time. So please, it's going to be about 30 of them. They are so excited, and I appreciate the chief as well as Ms. Grigland and others who worked hard to get them in on a. They have a process now, so we don't have to deal with the noise that we dealt with, and I'm just excited about it, as you can see. With that excitement going on, I want to say, as you have heard, I want to give a challenge, starting with me, to the council, and to everyone, the two people that came with the positive things. I've come to the realization, having sat here this third time, is that people find what they seek. Let me let that sink in. You find what you seek. It's been very evident as we see the different people come to the podium, and I had to do an evaluation of myself. So now that we're in the Christmas or holiday season, what I want to encourage everyone and challenge everyone to do is before you say, for the next 25 days, 20 in counting, but when you say anything to a person, your challenge and my challenge, we have to say something nice first. Find something nice to say about someone, something first, before we get to anything of what I like to call self-improvement or things that need to be fixed. I think that's a challenge that we can do during this season. So it's a challenge, and I'm going to start with myself, all right? And I will start with that challenge by saying, okay, yes, I know I said Johnson, and you all were correct, all right? Now, so what I want to go to on the last thing was this. Please note, as you hear these issues that come up and the monies that's being spent, Ladies and gentlemen, we have a professional staff. Those of you all who've ever had jobs or have a job, you're good at your job, you're an expert at your job because you live and breathe your job 40 plus hours a week. The people that we have running this city, while everybody wants to talk about how much money they make, have no idea how much time they put into it. But outside of that, they are professionals. They are qualified. They live and breathe. And it's always fascinating to me when you see someone ask a question about the budget. That budget is not something that you just sit back and figure out. This is my, 14th year going to that and still learning. But we have experts who know exactly to the penny. How do we know that? Look at all the recognitions that we continue to get, whether it's in finances, whether it's in our police. Just be comforted to know that you're in good hands in the city. And don't ever forget that we're growing. Council, we are growing a city in a time where everything is going up. I'll just leave you with that. Thank you, Mayor. That's all. Next Thursday, next Wednesday, be here, 3:30.
Thank you. Councilmember Kadook?
Thank you, Mayor. On November 21st, I attended the Horizon Council meeting. And again, I would like to reiterate that I'm very proud that they have now added an arts and culture committee to their overall future. On November 28th, I attended the city's tree lighting, and that was an amazing event. Thank you to staff and Parks and Rec and the special event staff for putting that on. Councilmember Lastra did me dirty by posting a photo of me with my triple chin. Thank you for that.
Whatever. You did not.
Also,
The baby was super cute though.
I had a triple chin, thanks. When it comes to the youth council, I don't want to sound heartless when I say this, but it really boils down to when we're budgeting, we're looking at needs of the city versus wants of the city, and I'll leave it at that. Tomorrow is the old golf course meeting, so if anyone is interested, they should definitely attend that, and it will be here in council chambers, so I'm looking forward to that. And also, why I'm talking about it, Mr. Kalish brought up, is this a full-time job? We're doing reports right now of things that we did not sitting here, as well as the prep that we have for the meeting. And if any of you want to take it upon yourself to click through all the documents that we have to read to make sound decisions, it's a lot. That's all. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think it's important to mention probably the least amount of time that we dedicate to the city is sitting in these chairs.
For sure.
The hours and hours of work that it takes just to make the decision or to sit here for whatever the length of the meeting is. That's the shortest period of time that we probably advocate, for the city for. Back on 11/20, I had the honor to be a guest speaker at the Family Initiative. They had a ribbon cutting. It's a great organization here in the city that provides an immense service to our city and surrounding county. So it was an honor to speak at their groundbreaking, or not their groundbreaking, their ribbon cutting of their new facility, new building there. Also, that particular day, I attended the Southwest Florida League of Cities meeting. Also on the 28th, I attended the tree lighting event here at City Hall. And it was well participated by our residents. I was glad to see everyone here in the Christmas spirit and looking forward to the holidays. Lastly, today, I had the honor to meet with the governor up in Tampa, and he had a press conference there. And the city of Cape Coral, I'm proud to announce that we are awarded $6.5 million from the governor's office through the Florida Department of Environmental Protection to support North One Utilities Extension Project, the UEP East Reclaimed Water Extension. And I think that's important to mention. And, we've heard many residents come to the podium and ask, hey, are you applying for any type of grants? Well, I can tell you today's press conference, there were 36 projects that were identified, and only 31 of the projects met the criteria. And out of the 31 projects, we had 3 of them that we had submitted. So, and I don't think there was any other county that I can recall that maybe had more than 2. We were the only one with 3. So we are trying to find those dollars. It's tough, but we are applying for the dollars. Sometimes, like today, we got a yes for 6.5 million. Some days we do get the no. But I think it's important to make sure that everyone knows that we're trying. This grant award will reduce the amount of local revenue needed to fund the North 1 East UEP to the city by the 6.5 million, while advancing reclaimed water infrastructure that supports improved water quality and long-term sustainability. The North 1 East UEP includes the construction of new utility infrastructure to provide central water, sewer, and irrigation services to properties in the Northeast Cape Coral. The reclaimed water component is a key part of the city's strategic to reduce reliance on the Mid-Althorn Aquifer, where water levels are declining, by increasing the reuse of highly treated wastewater for irrigation and helping protect our local water resources. The $6.5 million grant that the Governor's Office and FDEP is a tremendous benefit to Cape Coral. This funding will reduce the amount of local revenue to fund, as I said before, the North 1 UEP project. Statewide, the Governor's Office identified approximately $112 million in grants within those 14 projects for water quality and alternative water supply projects, including about $50 million specifically for DEP alternative water supply grant applications. Cape Coral's award is part of this broader effort to strengthen Florida's water resources and infrastructure and to try to save our taxpayers anytime that we can with offsetting the expenses. So glad that I could attend that today, and I think it's great news for our community and our city. So that's all I have for the report. Councilmember Steinke, I see your light on, and then I'll go to the city attorney.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just want to make note of the value that is brought by and the hard work that is done by our lobbyists. This wouldn't come about if it weren't for, in this case, Nick Matthews and Dane Eagle, having the relationships that they have in Tallahassee, making sure that the decision-making individuals there know our needs, know our situation, and are constantly representing us. It's so valuable to have them there. And so if they're watching or they watch via tape some other time, Nick and Dane, thank you for your help in this effort.
Yeah, and I will say I spoke with Dane Eagle a couple times this week. And like most press conferences, we had no idea exactly what or if we were going to get anything. And I know that Dane was working behind the scenes, and I'm sure Nick was too, but I did speak with Dane specifically the last few days coming up to today. So like Councilmember Steinke said, they do a phenomenal job for our city, and they're the workhorse of a lot of our grant opportunities that we have. You know, they're a tremendous asset to the city for sure. Mr. City Attorney, report.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. In anticipation of the December 10th meeting that's going to, the special meeting that's going to start at 1 o'clock in order to discuss the potential referendum items. In the past, I know that with the assistance of the city clerk, we were able to at least get confirmation from the supervisor of elections regarding the limitations of the referendum items, both on the primary and the general election. On the primary, it was supposed to be 5. On the general election, it's supposed to be 4. Today, we found out that they have altered that position. We received confirmation today from the supervisor of elections that there are no limitations on either the primary or the general. I'm letting you all know that now because up until this morning, I have always conveyed to you that there was a limitation. We have found out that that limitation no longer exists. I don't know what that is attributable to. We have tried to get that clarification, but there has been a non-response as of right now. But I do want you to let you know that so that you have that under consideration when we do go to that December 1 special meeting at 1 o'clock. We are no longer hamstrung by the previous limitations that were set forth by the supervisor of elections. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, report.
I just want to say thank you to all of my staff that put together that community event. We every time we do a Parks and Rec master plan, we hear the community say that their number one programming needs is usually special events. And time again, our community, shows its support for family-oriented, fun, enjoyable time together. And for all my staff that was involved, whether it was, ordering porta-johns to lining up vendors to building the Christmas tree to setting up, public safety and keeping our residents and anybody who visited our community safe. I just want to thank all of them publicly, because to have the turnout that we had Saturday night was just amazing to see. I have been to a few of these now. If you think just back 3-4 years ago, we had our first one right out front of City Hall, and then we migrated to the front lawn and have grown the event into something that is just remarkable. And it truly shows that our community really does appreciate having the time to spend with their family at an event that is free, no entry. Now, yes, the event is not free to us at large. We pay for it with taxes, but for them and the reception that we get is just enjoyable. And I want to, again, thank all of my staff for putting on that event for the community. So to them, thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Lastrick, I see a light on.
Yeah, sorry, Mayor. I'm just wanted to remind y'all that I'm going to be participating remotely next week for both meetings.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Mr. City Manager. Time and place of future meeting. We have a special meeting of the Cape Coral City Council scheduled for Wednesday, December 10th, beginning at 1 p.m. here in council chambers. And we also, on that particular day, have a regular meeting in the Cape Coral City Council, again, Wednesday, December 10th, 2025, beginning at 4 p.m. here in council chambers. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Meeting adjourned.